With LeBron James being one of the most valuable athletes in history, pretty much anything he touches turns to gold. Literally. From jerseys to shoes, every single piece of equipment LeBron's worn on the court and in his mouth is worth a lot to his fans. And some people wanted these things so bad, they paid nearly $1 million for the pieces of history. With the recent tragedy of Kobe Bryant, the 2020 All-Star Game was completely dedicated to him. And in that game, the uniform LeBron wore included the most valuable jersey in NBA history. This was the first time James wore any number other than 6 or 23. The reason behind it was because Gianna Bryant wore number 2 during her own basketball career, and she too was involved in the Kobe tragedy. Team LeBron all wore the blue number 2 jersey to pay homage to her. During the game, James scored 23 points in the jersey for his team throughout a 157-153 win over Team Giannis. After the game, his uniform was placed up for auction. The intent was for all money raised throughout the purchase of this jersey would go toward the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation, which aims to further Bryant's work by providing underserved communities and individuals with sports programming that progresses their development. The money would also go toward the Mamba on 3 Fund, which exists to honor and support the loved ones of the 7 other victims involved in the tragedy. But LeBron's game-worn jersey from Chicago went on to sell for $630,000 through NBA auctions. This was the highest price ever paid for a modern NBA jersey, according to Action Network's Darren Revelle. The jersey had a total of 231 bids, with bid increments of $20. But this wasn't the only time a LeBron jersey became so valuable. Just 2 months after, another one of James's jerseys was put up for auction from his rookie season. The jersey up for auction this time was LeBron's 5th ever game in the NBA. The game took place on November 7, 2003 against the Pacers, and that night James scored 23 points in a 1-point loss. TMZ Sports reported that the same jersey was also worn by LeBron 5 days later when the Cavs took on the Heat in Miami. This is believed to be the earliest jersey worn by James to hit the open market. According to Ken Golden at Golden Auctions, he said, LeBron James memorabilia is some of the most sought-after memorabilia currently. After setting the record earlier this year for the sale of a LeBron James card for $900,000, we're hoping this jersey will set the record for the highest price paid for a basketball jersey, which is $630,000. The jersey was certified and verified as original by Resolution Photo Matching, a memorabilia authentication company. As of Monday, April 13th, the current bid sat at $70,000, but there were more than 30 left in the auction. As LeBron continues to become more valuable and legendary as time goes on, this jersey could become the first $1 million uniform ever sold. That's wow. Sports fans and memorabilia collectors crave jerseys worn by players in NBA games, but the holy grail of jerseys comes from when they thrived in high school. Selling for more than Michael Jordan's jersey that he wore during his final game in Chicago was LeBron's jersey from St. Vincent St. Mary's. James wore the gold jersey, which featured the high school's mascot, his number, and trim in green during the cover shoot for the February 10, 2002 issue of Sports Illustrated. With the title of the magazine saying The Chosen One, the issue featured a story by sports writer Grant Wall that hyped up LeBron as one of the most promising basketball prospects of all time. Golden Auctions hosted the event selling the jersey for $187,500. And the auction house said 5% of the proceeds will go to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. With LeBron James' shoe deal worth $1 billion, it's only right he had some rare versions of his sneakers that cost as much as people's homes. And with new shoes coming out every single week, nothing can compare to the most expensive LeBron's ever created. These happen to be a one-of-a-kind gift to King James himself, celebrating him passing the milestone of 30,000 career points. Dominic Chambrone, aka the Shoe Surgeon, ended up linking with Nike to create a one-of-one version of LeBron's latest shoe. He took things to a luxurious level, and the shoe was made using premium materials you don't typically see on a sneaker. The upper part of the shoe is made up of crocodile skin, dipped in 24-karat gold, along with 14 grams of 18-karat gold for the zippers. The heels are gold-plated along with the lace loops being solid gold. And to top it all off, The shoelace tips are a 2.32 carat diamond and are set with the words World and Champions. The creator of this particular shoe even said, "This was by far the most expensive and challenging shoe I've made to date, but the sweat and hours was worth every cent." This LeBron shoe is approximately valued at over $100,000, but definitely no surprise there, with it being a shoe like none before it. But that wasn't it for the gifts LeBron received for hitting his 30,000th career point. He also got a matching pendant in the shape of his signature lion head logo, made with 27 grams of 18 karat gold and 238 diamonds on a 30-inch 18 karat gold Franco chain with 10 carats of diamond to match the masterpiece of a sneaker. Even in the off-season, LeBron James makes an impact heard all around the world. And with the recent opening of his I Promise school in Akron, Ohio, game-worn shoes are being sold to benefit the kids there. News broke that over 100 game-worn Nike LeBron sneakers are on display in the school's foyer. The matching counterpart to each shoe is being sold through Upper Deck, with proceeds benefiting the LeBron James Family Foundation. Instead of auctions, each game-used shoe is being sold at fixed prices, ranging from $15,000 to $35,000. While there are some regular choices up for sale, there are several noteworthy options, including shoes James wore in past All-Star games, on Christmas Day, and in the NBA Finals. With 114 sneakers on display at the school, the matching shoes remain up for grabs via Upper Deck and are available for purchase. Popular golfer Bubba Watson, who was a huge LeBron fan, found out about the 114 auction shoes, and he absolutely needed one. Watson contacted James to ensure that 100% of the proceeds would indeed be designated for the school, and Watson even said, "Otherwise, I told him I'd just write him a check." He didn't have to do that, but instead, he bid on a pair of the shoes. His $30,000 bid won him the shoes that James wore in Game 3 of the 2017 NBA Finals at Cleveland, a game that Watson attended. Bubba spoke about the purchase after the fact, regretting nothing when he said, "It's cool. He's doing a lot for his hometown, you know. I've won 3 times this year, but this was way better in my book. I feel like I'm known as a golfer and not a real person sometimes, and I just want to do other things that are far more important than playing golf." With game-worn jerseys skyrocketing in price, shoes worn in games are only getting more expensive, and a special pair of shoes LeBron wore recently got auctioned from a game in 2008. Dating back more than 10 years, the Cavaliers went up against the 76ers in Quicken Loans Arena, where James led all scorers with 28 points as well as 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. LeBron and the Cavaliers walked away with the 88-72 win, but the biggest prize from that night was on his feet. What makes these so valuable is that the Cavs were on a hot streak at the time the game was played. The win tied Cleveland's franchise record of 11 straight victories, as the team moved to 13-0 at home and 20-3 overall. The burgundy and gold colored Nike shoe featured a lion on the tongue as well as the words "The Six" written above them. The shoes were auctioned and sold for $3,000 just a day after going up. But LeBron's expensive shoes don't stop there. In 2018, LeBron gifted a Grizzlies equipment assistant a pair of shoes worth more money than anyone in the arena made that day. LeBron and the Lakers were in town to play the Grizzlies, and after the game, LeBron saw someone he sees every time he's there. Whenever LeBron is in town, Breanne Miller wears a pair of LeBron's shoes in support. And of course, LeBron saw her, but this time was different. He gave her the shoes he wore that evening, but she was more excited about the hug she got from the king, and the moment brought her to tears. After receiving the one-of-one gift, Breanne told reporters that people offered upwards of $100,000 for the shoes, but she turned them down because, according to her,
I'm loyal to the max.
Although you can't physically wear a rookie card, you can certainly have a piece of your jersey put into one. And recently at Golden Auctions, an event was held where one lucky buyer bought one for close to $1 million. The card showcases LeBron and Michael Jordan with a small piece of a game-worn Cavaliers jersey and a small piece of Jordan's game-worn Wizards jersey. The odd part about the card is that for Jordan, there are pictures of the Bulls logo all over it. The lucky buyer was able to get the one-of-one card for $900,000, which is a hefty price to pay for a card. But with that comes bragging rights. It's also a new record for a basketball card, topping the previous record of $501,900 spent on a 1969-70 Topps number 25 Lou Alcindor in a 2016 auction. Ken Golden, the founder of Golden Auctions, spoke about the piece and said, "We are proud to report that this sale nearly doubled that price and joins the famed 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card and classic T206 Honus Wagner card as the only trading cards to ever reach this level." Usually you wouldn't want something that someone else put in their mouth, but for sports fans and especially LeBron lovers, his Mouthguard isn't too gross. Recently on the hit TV show Pawn Stars, the employee Tumley was talking to Aaron Ahart, who attempted to sell LeBron James' high school mouthpiece. Aaron was very confident that it was from one of his games at St. Vincent St. Mary in Akron, Ohio. While he was freaked out that he was holding the piece in his hands after it was in James' mouth at some point, he said he loved it. The Mouthguard had King James on it, along with Gloria and 23. Aaron wanted to get $12,000 for the item, and he also showed Tumley a picture of James wearing the same Mouthguard. Tumley wasn't sure about that price, so he called for some help, but an assistant of his told him it was worth no more than $5,000. After going back and forth, a deal was never made, but a $12,000 Mouthguard is pretty insane. Aaron talked about the experience, saying, "They gave me a call back and said, 'Hey, we're interested, it's a very cool piece, and it'd be a good look for the show. Do you want to come out?' I said, 'Absolutely. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. Had to go out. It's something that means a lot to me. It's my favorite piece. Most valuable? No.'" If you've enjoyed this video, then we're sure you'll enjoy the next one. Click on right now and enjoy.